Hello, 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 and welcome to today's episode of Her Version. This podcast is dedicated to sharing stories of struggle to triumph, a platform that allows individuals to tell their truth in order to inspire and uplift others. For those of you that are new to this podcast, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow, like, and share. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria. Let's jump right in. Thank you for joining us today for this episode of Her Version. The Her Version platform is built on storytelling and the understanding that many times our greatest learning experiences come from listening to other people's stories. Today, I am going to be speaking with an amazing woman named Amber. When Amber got pregnant, she believed that her life was no longer her own. When her husband cheated on her with a friend, she was at an all-time low. Amber had a choice to make to continue to play the role of a victim of her life, girl, I get it, or to take back her power. Amber is here today to share her steps to regaining your power and recognizing your emotions in order to create awareness of who you are and the potential you hold. Welcome, Amber. When you think of the challenges that you've gone through in your life and the steps that you take to go from maybe a darker place or a challenge to a more healthy mindset, because we all go through challenges. We all, it doesn't matter. Just because we know all the things doesn't mean that stuff isn't happening to us.
Absolutely.
So what I'd like to do is to kind of pick your brain a little bit on what you yourself do, because we all do it differently. And maybe if what some people watching right now isn't working for them, maybe they can pull from, some things that you do. So is there like like a 1, 2, 3 step process or something that you can kind of think of that kind of go in and out of when you're going ups and downs through the challenges in your life?
So I'd say that there is definitely a process to it, and your very first step is acknowledgement.
Ooh.
Honestly, acknowledging where you are, what is the situation. I find journaling really helps me with this, or as I've spoken to a couple of my clients about, if you don't like writing stuff down, and if that's difficult for you in any way, shape, or form, then record yourself just speaking it out loud. You don't ever have to listen to it back, but it's just that act of taking the time to say, this is what's happening. So where am I? What am I doing? Check in with yourself. How do I feel? Why do I feel that way? Is there somebody that's involved in this situation? How do I feel towards them? Get it all out. Like, just spend some time getting it out onto paper, onto a recording, in any way, shape, or form, but allow yourself the space to do that. Because what often happens is that, and I've done this myself, I'm feeling stuff and I'm still trying to get through the day. I'm still trying to make everything else happen because life has to go on, and there's children to care for, and there's a home to keep, and there's a job to show up for, or whatever it may be, or even just, I just need to sleep, and I just want to be in my bed, and I just want to sleep.
Yeah.
Giving yourself that dedicated time and space to really acknowledge it instead of ignoring it and trying to battle against it. Just let it come in. And yes, that might mean that you cry. And yes, temporarily, it might mean that you feel worse because you're talking about it and you're bringing it all up to the surface, but that's part of the process. Until we learn to accept and acknowledge and feel what we feel, we can't let it go. Once you've done that, you'll have a better understanding of what the situation, like what is this overall situation, what is the big picture, right? You're building that picture for yourself, even though you already know. Sometimes we don't know why we've got ourselves into this hole. Sometimes things look really bleak, and we're on a conscious level, you're like, well, it's actually not that bad, but we still feel really bad. So if you're in that situation as well, sometimes writing it out gives you insight. It's like, oh, that's what I'm feeling. That's why I'm feeling it. It's not even anything to do with this situation. It's coming from like 10 years ago. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm still holding on to that. I didn't realize. Great. Yeah. Okay, now I can deal with that. So you've got the knowledge. Once you've got the knowledge, seek advice, seek help, seek support. And I don't necessarily mean from a professional. It doesn't have to be from a professional space. I mean from people.
Yeah.
We are social creatures, we're social beings, and when we feel bad, sometimes we want to isolate ourselves.
Yeah.
But in that very act of isolating ourselves, we narrow down our point of view, we narrow down our need for comfort, for support, we close off opportunities. So just finding someone that you trust, that you feel that able to open up to, that you can share with, and you don't even have to go into detail with this person. You can literally say, look, I am here and I feel like crap.
Yeah.
And I just need you to know that I feel bad. Having people that are aware, because, and for me this is key, because I didn't tell people that I wasn't going out of the house. I just was like, yeah, I'm just not coming out today. I didn't tell people that I was anxious that if I got in a taxi I'd get kidnapped and my child might get taken away. I didn't voice those things because I thought people would think I was insane.
Yeah.
And there's a whole level of other like fear around judgment and stuff like this. But if I had done, when I did start to voice those things, I started to receive advice and help and support in the way that I needed it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying you need to share with everybody. Not everybody is your person to lean on.
Yep.
Find someone you're happy to open up with just a little bit and let them know what you're dealing with. So yeah, acknowledge, build that support network. And then for me personally, it was about finding tools to help me deal with whatever was going on. So now I don't just lean on EFT, I lean on hypnotherapy, I lean on NLP. Recognize that you don't have to stay in this state, and that there is hope and there are tools that you can use. So I think that's like in a 3-step process, that's pretty much what I do. I get it all out, I recognize where I'm at, I seek some just support, social support and help and guidance, and then I take a look at what it is I'm dealing with. So this is probably another stage you want to go in. So how are you feeling right now, and what do you want to feel instead? For me, this is like massive. If I'm just sitting in these feelings, so we've acknowledged them, we're sitting in them, great, I know what the situation is. Well, but that's not the situation I want, and that's the situation I'm faced with. So what is the situation? What is it that you want? If this isn't it, if where you are right now isn't what you want, what do you want? Spend some time, again, journal it out, talk about it, figure out what you want to feel instead.
Yeah.
And then you can start finding out how do you make that happen. The people around you in a situation, so taking my situation, I wanted to feel loved. I wanted to feel appreciated. I wanted to be respected, because I certainly wasn't being respected. Okay. And I knew that in that situation, I couldn't get respect or love from either of those people involved, that I had already been disrespected. And sorry, Sabrina, you were going to say something. Please do.
No, I'm fine.
I thought you were going to say something. It's okay. So I had a choice. Was I going to continue to keep myself in a situation where the opposite was true, where I was being disrespected, where I was being lied to, where I was being treated poorly? That wasn't what I wanted, yet I was staying and allowing that to happen.
Yeah. Crazy.
So recognizing what you don't want, recognize what you do want, and then take a look at where you are showing up. Where are you showing up and allowing this to be the case? It's really hard sometimes to accept responsibility to say, well, actually, I don't have to be in this place. I don't have to be in, like, there's a choice. If it's a relationship that you want to take yourself away from,
Yeah.
the power is within you to do that, and there is support around you to help you. If you feel unsafe for any reason, there are people that can support you in that process. I had friends that helped me in that process because I had all sorts of fears around leaving the country. Would he let me fly out? If I book this flight, will I be able to take my children with me? And all of these things that came up for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to put support in place. I was able to have those conversations. I was able to make sure that that wasn't going to be the case, but that I could only do that once I was really very fully aware of what I wanted instead, and what I was putting up with, what I was allowing for myself. So, yeah.
Definitely. I want to ask, what's the number one lesson that you've learned from life?
I am powerful. That is my number one lesson. I am powerful. And that doesn't mean I'm perfect, but it means I can do stuff. I can change things. I can move things. I really have the power within me to do pretty much anything that I can imagine myself doing.
Absolutely. Definitely.
And along with that, power doesn't mean that I do it all alone.
Oh, that's a good one.
Power doesn't, powerful people, I always think of this as superheroes. So you see Thor with his hammer, and I don't know, you've got Spider-Man over here doing his thing, Superman over here doing his thing. But they all have people they rely on. They all have families. Like in these stories, in every story, there is, a best friend for support, a wife, or another superhero, and the Avengers team up together. We're never alone. We don't have to be alone.
Yeah.
Okay? But it can feel like we're alone a lot of the time, or some of the time. We don't have to be. So being powerful doesn't mean that you do everything alone. Being powerful means you know that you can use tools and resources to help you get there. That it comes from within, but there's help from outside too.
Definitely. I want to take a moment really fast just to recognize the individuals that are hanging out with us right now live. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us and listening to Amber's journey and all the inspiration or thoughts that she is leaving with us today. So those of you also watching on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay so that we know where you are and we can send you out some love. I want to ask Amber, what do you do for business? What do you do for work? What do you do to help all the humans out?
So my helping hand is I'm an empowerment coach and EFT master practitioner. I essentially coach other women into their own power. So I'm really heavily focused right now on helping people, specifically mums, to pursue their dreams, goals, and ambitions, and to overcome fears, anxieties, worries that are holding them back and keeping them small in their life, and that are stopping them from confidently, and here's the key word, confidently pursuing their dreams. So knowing that they can achieve, knowing that they can succeed, knowing that they can have whatever it is they desire, big, small, giant, grand dreams, getting them to that stage where they can start taking action with a knowing that just taking those actions will get them to where they want to be.
That's great.
So that's what I do.
And then your website is right above your face area. Is that the best way people can contact you? Is your social media and stuff on there?
Yeah, they can either contact me via the website. It's going under a bit of an overhaul at the moment, which is taking longer than I wanted it to. So you can contact me via Facebook, and I can pop that under video if it's not already in the description, so we can do that. Or via email, which is just info@ambercherelle.com.
Beautiful. I think actually I did put your Facebook link in the description.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
So
pretty sure
check
it
the
was there.
description for those of you that are looking to link up with Amber. Check the
Yeah,
description first. It should be in there, and she's also linked. So go through my
yeah.
stuff, and you'll see her tagged in the stuff. Amber, what does success mean to you?
Success mean to me? Oh, good question. What does success mean to me? Doing the things you want to do. Being successful in life isn't a measuring, so it's not measuring yourself against what other people have achieved. For
Oh,
me,
beautiful.
success is setting your own standards, your own desires, and meeting them.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just because of my personal period of time where I wasn't meeting my own needs and desires. But for me, that is success. Is knowing what you want out of life and going ahead and achieving what you want from life, not what anybody else wants. So
Definitely.
you define your own version of success. What does my own version of success look like? It looks like a life that is full of joy. No matter where I am in the world, no matter what I'm doing, it needs to be joyful. And that's what I strive for. So that is my success. As long as I'm enjoying what I'm doing, then I'm happy. That's success.
That's great.